teeny bop. Oh, okay.
Hello and welcome to Geeks Around. I always get Charles when he's going on a rant, but he's starting to become more aware of it. This is Geeks Around presents the Conclave. This week we are discussing The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Rise of the Plotline. Oh wait, no, that's not the. But this might as well be Rise of the Sinister Six, but we'll get there.
Yeah, pretty much.
I am your host, a newly appointed producer / lead host, Matt Moore. Not that I'm tuning my own horn or anything. Next to me, we have Isaiah Mullins. Say hi, Isaiah Mullins.
Hello, everybody.
What was that?
The Dr. Nick voice. Like, hi, everybody. Hey, Dr. Nick.
That was not your best Dr. Nick, man.
Shut up, molasses.
I'm sorry, is that the black man calling the white man black?
No, it's molasses like a tree sap. He's slow. It's a tree sap.
Oh, okay. Next to Isaiah Mullins, we have Charles Whedon. Charles Whedon is going to talk for the next few seconds, and then we're not going to hear him again until we start making fun of him. Go ahead, Charles.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I did see Amazing Spider-Man 2, and yeah, after seeing that movie, I want to take a vacation. I want to take a vacation to a theme park.
All right, next to Charles, we have Andy Babak. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing great. I was not the one who muted Charles for once, and I in fact loved the movie.
Yeah, the theme park I'm referring to is called Bullshit City.
That I created.
I want to ride the bullshit roller coaster. I want to go into the bullshit fun house. I want to go on the bullshit water slide.
All right, so since we're already here, let's go over the bad things. Let's let Charles and Isaiah go off because I know Isaiah didn't like it because.
No, I didn't like it. I didn't hate it.
I'm sorry, Emma Stone could have come to your house and given you a blowjob. You would have said, "Fuck this movie."
No, not really. I did like it, but it was very disappointing.
Are you saying, sir, that your opinion can be bought by a blowjob?
Yes.
I think any opinion can be bought by a blowjob, especially by a hot chick.
Oh my
Exactly.
God.
But I didn't hate it. It was just disappointed. Very disappointed.
All right, I have to admit there were holes in the plot. There were gaping holes in the plot. But I think that the acting and the chemistry were done so well that it was easy to ignore those holes in the plot. And
That is true.
I think that is why I enjoyed it.
Right. Same here. That's why I like Jamie Foxx's character. Knowing the fact he was a complete ripoff of Batman Forever's Riddler, I still like that character because Jamie Foxx was pretty much human in that whole situation. I like his take on Electro, so I like that for what it was.
All right, I'm going to say this. I thought Jamie Foxx did an okay Electro.
What?
Okay. It wasn't... I mean, ignoring everything that had happened in the comics involving Electro, I have to say he was pretty damn good. However, my issue was not with how his character became Electro. It was with his interactions with everyone else. The interactions going on with other characters, none of it made sense. I was like, it just didn't make sense to me. Hell, later on in the movie, the damn fight scene. That was retarded. I hated that scene.
Okay, yes, the fight scene was retarded, but how he was a human, it didn't make no sense to you? Are you serious?
No. My thought was he made an amazing Electro. I think he did amazing.
Yeah, I like the Electro, yeah.
It was Max Dillon was less believable. In the real world, if there was a fucking Electro, I'd be like, oh my god, fucking science did some fucked up shit.
Right.
If I were to meet Max Dillon, I would say, this is a made-up character. Where are the cameras?
Right.
Max Dillon was not believable.
No, he wasn't. But also, Electro was like Dr. Manhattan, that one scene when he broke out. Like, hey, it's Dr. Manhattan. Oh, it's Electro. Well, that's a good thing, right? Yes. No balls.
Yes, because if you had seen Electro's penis, it would have been larger, even though he was shorter. Also, remember, in the scene in which you see Dr. Manhattan, he's fucking 40 feet tall.
Yeah.
Matt, the moments in the movie which you were referring to involving the good chemistry between the characters, does that also happen to involve Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker, because
why don't we completely jump from what we were just talking about to something else completely?
I have no idea. Well, I'm all over the place because this movie just pissed me off.
You didn't like that part with Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker? Because I liked it.
I didn't like any part with the two of them in it.
Oh, dude.
All right, you know what? I've completely lost control of this particular hangout. I'm hiding myself from the broadcast. Go ahead, guys.
See, there you go. There you go again, Charles.
All right, fine. I'm sorry. I can't contain my anger. This movie sucks. And I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I have been since I was a kid.
Sure you are.
Yeah, he wasn't a Wild West fan.
One of my favorite villains from the Spider-Man story arc would be the Hobgoblin, Morbius, Carnage, Mysterio.
Okay, when you say Hobgoblin, do you mean Green Goblin or Hobgoblin? Because they're not the same.
Hobgoblin, not Green Goblin.
Okay, making sure.
That's a stupid question. When you say Hobgoblin, do you mean Hobgoblin or Green Goblin? Like, if he says Hobgoblin, he means Hobgoblin.
Yeah, I was wondering that as well, Sam. What the hell?
Hey, you always get messed up with all your characters. You get messed up with your characters. Remember the Flash? Remember Flash? Remember him? Exactly. Thank you. Anyways, that's what I said. Cause you guys think, oh, I like the Hobgoblin. No, Charles, that's Green Goblin. Oh, it is? Oh, who's a Hobgoblin? That's a different person. Oh, really? Yes, Charles. Yes, it is.
The Green Goblin was good when it was Norman Osborn, but anytime after that, I just didn't care for it. And I'm talking about the comics, not the movie.
Well, Norman Osborn then transferred to his own son, who became a little bit anti-hero.
Yeah.
But it's different. It's depending on how you look at it. Really.
Matt, you're still muted.
No, I'm not.
No, he's not.
You were.
He's watching us.
Yeah, he was like a few seconds, but so.
But
let's go over the actual events in the movie itself. We'll go step by step, and you tell me what you like about it. What's that?
Yes, let Andy talk.
Yeah, I didn't get to say anything about Electro.
Oh, is that they went off? That wasn't our goal. But go ahead, say something about Electro, and then we'll get to the actual the goal of the thing.
I love Jamie Foxx. I think he did an amazing Electro. I don't care if he's black or whatever. I don't care that he's white in the comic books. Electro was a fucking badass villain. I felt there were times where I felt sorry for Max, but at the same time I was like, oh, this is not a believable, tragic person. But I cared for him. But yeah, I would not say he did an okay job. I would say he did a great job. So, Charles, stop smoking that weed in your last name and get back to reality. Bitch.
I agree with Andy.
Another issue I have with Electro, he wasn't in the movie that much. There were only 2 fight scenes between him and Spider-Man in the 2.5-hour long movie.
Only 2 fights? Like, you know, most of the time we only get 1 fight scene between the villains and the heroes.
That never happened in the Sam Raimi films. There were several fight scenes between the Spider-Man and the villains in those.
Oh God.
Yeah, but do you know what did happen?
I know. I shouldn't compare.
Let Andy talk.
Go ahead.
No, I was done.
Oh.
I was going to say, I know we should not compare the Mark Webb films with the Sam Raimi films. I understand.
Mark Webb owns the Raimi one.
Not after this movie.
I'm sorry, did you see Spider-Man 3 Electric Boogaloo with the Venom?
So, in the beginning of the movie, we have Richard Parker actually recording a video message for basically trying to explain himself, like he's calling himself, saying that people might view him as a monster for the things he's done,
yeah.
etc. Makes that recording, and then basically tries to, let me see, and then basically jumps on a plane with his wife after dropping Peter off with Peter's uncle and aunt. There's like they try to have a touching scene between father and son, but it kind of misses in my opinion.
It really did fail.
And then he gets on the plane and gets in that fight, which did not. I don't know. I didn't like the fight either.
I didn't like it either. It made no sense. Like, okay.
I I loved them.
It was like watching a Bane fight in the plane scene. Like, oh, this sucks like Bane.
Well, actually, that plane fight scene in The Dark Knight Rises was pretty cool.
Yeah, I have to agree. And my problem with I just basically had one problem with that fight scene, one main problem with that fight scene, and that is very quickly in that particular scene, the bad guy gets his ass knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then like 30 seconds later, he's back to full strength, ready to fight, not having to shake off anything, not anything like that. I don't know. That was one of the small ones, but that was one of the plot holes I had a problem with. Other than that, I kind of saw what the exposition was, what the goal of this particular storyline was. Right. I don't know, the whole Richard Parker storyline through this.
Yeah.
Kind of only rated it like a 6.
Well, this is where the part of the movie I didn't like with it was Peter Parker's father, because it was just like this, because the intro was okay, but when you see it unravel so much more, it's like, are you serious? This is kind of stupid. Because I've seen that storyline beforehand. We all have. It seems so generic. It's like, that's kind of generic. So I didn't really like that whole scene together, because it's going to
I will say this about the Ben Parker and the thing at the plane. The fight was it was whatever for me, but I loved the whole arc with being they were being chased, and we know who was trying to kill them off and so on. And like, look, I'm all for fight scenes that inside planes, but to me it was more the plot that was more interesting for me rather than the actual way they fought. Because I agree with Matt. Like 30 seconds later, he's like back up. He's like, you did not knock me out.
How about you, Charles?
To be honest, just anything in the movie that was involving Peter Parker's father, it was more interesting in the first film because it didn't reveal that much. But in this movie, they're just flooding us with all this kind of information that we don't technically need.
Well, hang on.
Ultimately, that particular storyline was not necessarily for this movie. It helped move along this movie towards this movie's goal, and that was the Sinister Six movie.
Right.
This storyline had to happen to set up the next movie.
Right. I kind of wish Peter Parker's father had his own movie. That would have been better to stretch out the whole what it was going down with his own lifestyle, because in the movie, they kind of forced it down our throats. I mean, the information was needed, but how they used it and how they pretty much forced it in the movie is like, damn, okay, we get it. We get it. His father was in a lot of deep shit. We do not care that much, okay?
I don't know. I mean, that whole plane scene, when it was happening, I didn't care what I was looking at. I was like, oh, okay, can we move this scene along so we can get to the better stuff? Because I just didn't particularly care. I understand that it was a pivotal moment in Peter Parker's life. It was the moment where Peter Parker's parents had died. However, just how they delivered it, I did not care.
The thing I really cared about this... No, sorry.
So I was just going to say, we have a question from the audience, from Indoor Lord. The answer is no. No, we can't. All right, so go on.
What was the question?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Open the QA app, you'll see.
Sorry, Lord, we can't talk about it. What I was going to say was, in the comics with the parents, there's been stuff between them where there's been conspiracy against them and so on. So I think
no, we cannot say.
So honestly, I think it really fit in here, and I really enjoyed this new version of it, because remember the first thing we saw in the marketing for the first movie was the untold story begins or whatever. This is a new interpretation of the Spider-Man franchise, and I think that's really, really cool. So whether a fight scene is being done bad or whatever, I think the arc fits in well. I think it makes Spider-Man this new Spider-Man different from the previous one, and yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, overall, like I said, overall I liked the movie, but I did, after second evaluation, I liked it a lot before I fucking listened to Isaiah and Charles. Both after I listened to Isaiah and Charles, it made me take a second look, and I realized that there were certain plot holes and things like that. But they're easily ignorable if you go to a movie to enjoy it. And
Right.
I don't think that is what Charles and Isaiah do. I don't think they go to movies to enjoy it. I think they go to movies to judge it.
No.
Yeah.
No, because look at it like this. When I went to go see The Dark Knight Rises, almost everybody I know
Fuck that
said
movie.
that movie was terrible, especially Isaiah. However, I say that I love that movie. Regardless of its plot holes, I love The Dark Knight Rises.
Plot holes?
Holy
Oh my
It-
god, they're
it's
crater plot
just
holes.
with the Amazing Spider-Man 2 and me being a fan of the Spider-Man world. Hell, even with the first Amazing Spider-Man movie, I did not enjoy that one more than the first two Sam Raimi films. The third Spider-Man movie, I don't even acknowledge that movie anymore. As far as I'm concerned, it never existed.
Charles,
However, it's just the first two Spider-Man movies were definitely better than these films by Mark Webb.
Okay,
Oh,
no,
you-
okay. Oh, no, I got something right there.
let's agree on one thing here from right now. Let's all agree that Andrew Garfield kicks the shit out of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yes, he does.
Yes,
It's a
I-
half-half for me. Half-half.
I mean, yes, I would say that Andrew Garfield is a pretty damn good Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. He does more wisecracks than what Tobey Maguire had done in the first movie, and his character
And I like
Peter Parker seems to be smarter than Tobey Maguire's interpretation. With Tobey Maguire, he never rubbed off as a genius. However, with Andrew Garfield, yeah, he looks pretty damn smart to me. So yeah.
And also he has the body size. Like the thing that I had a problem with Maguire was that, I'm just keeping this short, but like, he was very like bulky, and so when Spider-Man's supposed to be, well, he's supposed to be
Scrawny?
yes,
Scrawny, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
he's supposed to look like this.
for the Sam Raimi films, the first two Spider-Man films, I mean, they were good for what they was for that time period, but when you look at them now, they are stupid. They are 100% stupid.
You can't go wrong with Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus.
I didn't say it was a bad character, but they
the only-
repeat all the time.
The only problem with that was that they killed off every villain that was unique,
Yes,
and they kept
the
going
same
back
way.
to Green Goblin, Green Goblin, Green Goblin, Green Goblin. Like we had I love Doc
Yeah.
Ock. They kill him off.
Because Green
And
Goblin killed himself.
that is a
That's
huge problem I have with with the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is Green Goblin. That's
Well,
one of my main.
We will get there.
We'll get into that later.
Off the topic. I'm like 7 minutes ago now. I ended up doing the synopsis for the first 5 minutes of the movie, and we have talked about everything except that. So let's go to the next part.
Yes.
Okay, so shut up. No, I'm kidding. It's
In
all.
In present day, New York, I don't know his actual character name. Oh, wait, Alexei
The
Stivic?
Rhino. The Rhino. The Green is calling the Rhino.
Yeah, he will. The guy who eventually becomes the Rhino. He's actually driving a big rig, which has basically one of those bank trucks, whatever they're
Right.
called, armor trucks,
Yeah.
which apparently are transporting plutonium. And apparently he's running that all through the city. And that is when Spider-Man pretty much jumps in. And that is when Spider-Man starts to see his first vision of Captain Stacy, someone he sees multiple times
Yes.
throughout the movie.
Yeah, but the Rhino scene was, I mean, you said plutonium, which is like very important and very rare sometimes, and it's in an armored vehicle with money. Like, okay, we got powerful criminals here. We just put it in that one. Okay, it sounds like a bad idea. No, it's not. It's a great idea. Oh, someone stole it. Oh, never mind then.
And then during that scene, he's actually also on the phone with Gwen Stacy, who is at their graduation, and she's all like, "Where the fuck are you?" And he's all like, "Oh, I'm close," when obviously he's not.
Right. Can you just tell her he's fighting crime? It'd be much easier.
I think that might have been the only place in which their chemistry wasn't perfect. It was really good in this scene, but it wasn't perfect. I think it would have been funnier if she had been like, "You're out saving people right now, aren't you?" No, not at all. Like, I think that would have been hilarious.
Yeah, that would have been.
Yeah.
You know what would have been hilarious though if they've been on the phone, she was like, you're not, are you even close? And he's like, well, I'm sort of close, but I will have to, leave you. And like he swings right over her, and then he continues to do the shades. Like that would have been hilarious.
That would be very funny. But the Paul Giamatti one, his character was just there. Sad to say, it was just hey.
See, but that was the point of it. Like he only had 4 minutes of screen time, and like to me, like I don't need to have a deep, complex villain in every fucking movie I see.
I know. Because Rhino's not smart.
I'm sorry. He was just amazing fun balls for me. Like his Russian laugh, like I almost pee myself just because of that laugh.
Nah, I was kind of like over the top a little bit. Again, Rhino doesn't have to be all complicated. He's really stupid in comic books. He's not smart by all means. So I was okay with that, but just like,
well, that's just it. Is I think that this scene right here was meant to establish the Spider-Man like vibe, the mythos, all that other fun stuff for people who didn't actually watch the first movie or read comics to see this kid who is basically he's having fun, and while he's having fun, he happens to be saving people at the same time.
Right.
Like those two things go hand in hand for him. Right. And that is the quintessential, at least originally, that was a quintessential Spider-Man.
Right. And before we go any further, I have to tell Charles, yes, Charles, this Rhino did come from the Ultimate Universe. So was Electro. He came from the Ultimate Universe. He was black. So
well, I've already come to terms with that. I mean, pretty much I recognize all Marvel films, or most Marvel films, either be from Marvel Studios or from Sony. I don't think X-Men will qualify for this, but pretty much almost every Marvel film that comes out is either directly from or gets its influences from the Ultimate Universe. So,
although we do have Fantastic Four coming up, that's gonna, even though it's gonna suck, but it's still from the Ultimate Universe. So like,
they're going to Avengers.
Well, it's just from what I understand, the X-Men movies don't get their stuff from the Ultimate Universe.
There have been few things, but very few, like maybe like 4 things or something.
It's difficult, really.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I've already come to terms with the fact that most Marvel films are from the Ultimate Universe, or at least get their inspiration from it.
But to me, Ultimate Universe is very strong to me. Like I read the first.
Well, I never said that the Ultimate Universe was bad. It's just I'm not familiar with the Ultimate Universe because I've never read it.
Really? You never read? Never mind.
I am only familiar with the main universe, which I think is 616.
Good boy, because they say Shield every week.
So, Andy, you had asked earlier exactly how long this hangout is going to take. We have not gotten past the credits yet. So, or if we have, we've barely gotten past the credits. I forget where the credits actually were. Okay, so Gwen actually, he makes it to the high school graduation, but not until after her commencement speech. Before that, he actually meets and saves Max Dillon and says "You're my eyes and ears." What else? Hero. Share a kiss, but it doesn't matter because he ends up breaking up with her afterwards. Because he keeps seeing her fucking father.
Yeah, I made a promise. Blah 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 blah. Dude, shut up.
I have a question for the panel. How many here think that Peter has seen her father while they're in bed together?
One time. I only think he's seen it one time.
No, I've seen it a lot of times.
Yeah, I can see it now. Where Peter and Gwen are like doing the nasty in the bed, and Captain Stacy's just standing there going.
Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Gwen Stacy's calling out Daddy towards Spider-Man in sex, like, yeah, I'm your father. It's like, oh, wait a minute, he's right there.
He probably maybe for a few seconds, like Gwen turned into Captain Stacy, like he was lying there in bed, but then Captain Stacy was like, "You promised me, bitch. You promised me," and it.
So does anyone have a problem with these particular scenes? Because I don't.
I think there was a scene deleted between before the breakup.
Go ahead, Andy.
Why don't you interrupt Andy, Charles? Why don't you do that?
It's not my job.
Go ahead, Andy.
No, go ahead, bitch. I forgot my thought anyway now because you interrupted me.
Go ahead, Andy.
Okay.
You were saying that there was a scene deleted.
Yes. I feel that there was a scene deleted between after the graduation and before the breakup. I feel there was supposed to be like some hiccup, like maybe he got upset or something, and then Like, yeah, that I feel
Right.
there was. Here's the thing I had a problem with the overall movie, like that. It felt short. It felt like the Sony did the same mistake again by deleting lots of scenes that was going to play a heavy part in the plot, like they did with the first one by saying, "Oh, the untold story," and then they pretty much took out all of it.
Well, I wouldn't call it
That
short
includes
though.
Mary Jane.
Oh yes, that's true.
Sorry.
That
Mary
includes
Jane.
Mary Jane.
Well,
You know, if Mary Jane and Charles got married, that would be Mary Jane Whedon.
But we're
Wait, I
getting
don't
way
get
too
that.
we're getting way too lost on this topic. I didn't
Wait.
like how you broke. I didn't like how you broke up with Gwen Stacy. Like, really, dude? Over that bullshit?
he didn't break up with her. She broke up with him.
No,
Yeah, but
he broke.
he was breaking up with her when she said, "Fuck that, it's going the other way." It
Right,
would have ended up broken up no matter what.
right. So it was still stupid in my book because, dude, you're already fucking her. So why you want to break up? That's free pussy right there. Like, that's free.
That scene with Gwen and Peter with the whole breakup thing, that just annoyed the crap out of me. I was going like, oh, come on. They've done this kind of shit dozens, if not hundreds of times before, thousands of times, tens of thousands. I don't even got a number for it. Just in story after story after story after story. It's so damn cliche. Do something different. I wanted to punch something after watching that scene. It just pissed me off.
I want to punch you right now.
To be
No,
fair,
okay.
I have just marathoned the entirety of Chuck, and I think it happens in Chuck at least 6 times.
Yeah, it does.
During those scenes when I watched Chuck, I fast forward through them. I didn't even bother with it. I just fast forward.
Mm-hmm.
How about when you were watching it live? How were you doing it then?
I'd never watched Chuck live. I waited until it fully recorded and then I watched it. Like I do with every show I watch.
Well done. You don't contribute to any of the live ratings. You have failed this TV viewership.
What the fuck does that matter? I watch
trolling
my
you.
shows on my time. Yeah.
Anyways, getting back to the
Vanilla.
movie.
I was going to say, I believe that actually DVR'd, because the cable box actually views in, I think it actually counts it.
It does, but
Yeah.
like in the initial live ratings, we know that even though Shaw is a big fan, he never contributes to the live numbers from the beginning.
Right.
In any case, Harry Osborn returns, ends up talking to his father. His father goes, "Oh, you're a big disappointment. Hey, that's a surprise.
Right.
That's not any different than the Sam Raimi movies.
Stop.
Basically, you're a big disappointment, but I'm going to put you in charge anyway. And, oh, by the way, here is some knowledge of my secret projects. But I'm not going to tell you it's my secret projects. It's just these are the things that will keep you alive. Because, oh, by the way, you're dying."
Yeah,
just
it's a curse.
Matt, I want to comment on that. Did you guys know that scene was cut? Like, there's one part missing from that. Remember the trailer where he says, when Harry asks Norman, like, what about Peter? And Norman says, like, not everyone can get a happy ending. They took another deleted stuff, and it makes me irritated.
That's something. Huh.
Isn't that the question of the day?
No, that reminds me is that while I was watching the movie, I noticed another missing scene that was in the trailer that wasn't in the movie, and I don't remember what it was, and I'll think about it, and I'll see if I remember it later.
Again, yeah.
Now I remember, but we're actually almost there. What were you going to say, Isaiah? And then I'll continue.
Oh, I like this Harry Osborn. He wasn't better than James Franco, but I didn't hate the guy. Just that he transformed into the Green Goblin was like, really? It wasn't bad. It was just really long. Like, really?
I don't know. James Franco can be a good actor. I do not consider his portrayal of the Green Goblin as him acting well.
Right, I agree with that because this new Green Goblin was more scary in my book. He was more sinister. He had a cool suit too, by the way. It was very badass.
Yeah,
So.
and he was mutated. Like the thing. Here's the thing I didn't like about the Raimi movie. It was why a rubber suit. Like seriously, that was just. I like this. Wait, let me finish. Hey, Vanilla, let me finish. Dane DeHaan, I liked him as Harry Osborn. What is it, Charles? What is it? Why are you gonna laugh? I like Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn. I think he had good chemistry with Andrew Garfield.
He had better chemistry with Jamie Foxx. I like those two chemistries more better because they were both outcasts of everything else. Like I was rooting for them the most than Peter Parker.
Dane DeHaan was decent as Harry Osborn.
That's just it. Is I thought I didn't like the happy emo business.
Right, that was kind of stupid.
Like I think he was trying to be too many stereotypes in one, and that's kind of what bugged me about him. However, his actual friendship, albeit very, very brief, with Peter Parker was very believable.
Mm,
And I like that.
I wanted to see more of it.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to see much more of that if possible.
Well, the scenes with Harry and Peter and showing off their friendship and everything and their bromance. One thing to say, that whole scene and everything involving it was a whole lot of Velveeta.
Charles, were you hurt as a kid?
I don't know.
And it was
Maybe.
Isaiah who did it.
I don't know, maybe.
No.
but
You have no, like, seriously, you hated this much, really, Charles. Like, it's...
I just felt like it was a massive insult. The whole movie
well,
felt
okay.
like an
Before
insult.
Charles goes to a big rant, the friendship between Harry Potter. I mean, I was saying Harry Potter.
Harry Potter?
Harry Potter?
I'm gonna say Harry.
Oh, is it Harry?
Harry and Peter. It was like it was nice, but it was so short. It was like I couldn't get involved in it. Like that was kind of short, like really, really fucking short.
Okay, I have a question to the whole panel. How many of you want to bet that there's going to be at least 25 minutes worth of deleted scenes on the Blu-ray and DVD?
I'm never going to find out because I'm not going to buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, but you're...
Here's my hope. I'm hoping that basically we're going to end up getting director's cuts versions of these movies.
Yeah.
Well, we
I can
didn't
see
get it
that
with
too.
the first one, so I guess it's probably more likely we will get the deleted scenes rather than a director's cut or an extended version.
Well, that's just it. Is we don't know that we don't have a first one because the future is still in the future. It's possible that after this series is over, they'll end up releasing director's cuts of all of them, and maybe like one a month for a few months.
Then do a reboot.
I was gonna say is they. I don't know. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm just saying it's a possibility that they're going to go, okay, now that this franchise is done, let's make some more money off of it. Let's do director's cuts and sell those now, too.
And then when we get done with those, we do a reboot. And no, so we're not going to do any other Spider-Man integrations. Like, we're not going to do Ben, we're not going to do Miles, we're not going to do any of those assholes because we don't care.
Isaiah, we don't know that yet. Let's see what happens.
He actually said it himself, the guy.
Well, here's the thing.
Fuck
Avi Arad is an old bastard. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Trust me, in 5 years, plan's gonna be different. And also, honestly, I don't think this franchise will ever be done. I think they will stick with this continuity and just I think superheroes are gonna go through the James Bond phase, where you basically have every actor, every actress being replaced. Like it will be the same character, the same version, but with a different actor.
I'll be very brief with this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like because you can't keep rebooting and rebooting and rebooting. Like I think. You see, they're doing Sinister Six, they're doing Venom, so trust me, they're not gonna reboot anytime. They're planning on doing it as at least this franchise for at least 10 years or something.
Okay. Well, I'll be very brief with this whole small topic I have against that guy. When he said that Spider-Man will always be Peter Parker and nothing more, that was just disheartening because Peter Parker. I mean, Spider-Man's not Peter Parker. He can be anyone. He can be any person. That's why I like Miles Morales. That's why I don't like Ben, but he made a good point. That's like the Web Wars of the universe, where all the Spider-Mans looking at each other and everything else. That was it's not just Peter Parker. It's everyone. Everyone can be Spider-Man and Spider-Woman, really. So that was really more important. That was like a big thing. Why I like Spider-Man so much. You can be Spider-Man. Everyone can be Spider-Man. But what he said was just to me disrespectful in the long term of it. It's like, really, dude. And as I said, he can go fuck himself. So that's why I was more upset with that. It was like the whole idea behind it. That's all.
All right. In the interest of speeding this along,
sorry,
we're still
Matt.
only maybe 15 minutes into the movie, and we're 40 minutes into the hangout.
Hey, have a good deep.
I'm being serious. Max Dillon thinks that him and Spider-Man are best friends. He ends up meeting Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy reveals to Peter Parker that she is going to England. Let me see. What else?
And May is trying to figure out what's going on with Peter while she's doing her new
Oh,
job.
that was
Yeah,
just filler.
Aunt May's trying to do Peter's laundry, and that's a bad thing. Let me see. Anyone want to speak on those things?
He can't clean a chimney.
What's that?
He can't clean a chimney. Like, he's trying to clean a chimney. We don't have a chimney.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That was kind of funny. I did laugh.
Who was
Like, I was cleaning the chimney. We don't have a chimney. What?
Yeah. That was actually pretty good. That was actually pretty good. I like
Sally,
that.
okay, I have to say, Sally Field is awesome as Aunt May. I miss
Yes.
May.
I will say that, yes. I do like her as Aunt May. A lot more than the woman that played Aunt May in the previous.
I loved her too, but this feels more realistic,
More
contemporary
realistic,
Aunt May, and also like she's bad what she used to.
What?
Yeah.
Did you just kill something or like?
What are you talking about?
What's
Go on.
happening?
I don't know. And it's going insane. But what I would have liked was a thinner, taller, skinnier Aunt May that kind of reminded me of the old Aunt May. But I realized that I'm not going to see that. And you know what? I'm okay with that because it's fucking Sally Field and Sally Field rocks.
Yes, and she's hot.
Okay, Isaiah, you need to get over your old woman thing.
Oh, come on. She is hot.
Actually, I have sort of a similar problem. I have for example, I have a big crush on the woman who played Moira Queen on Arrow. Like I would marry her in a heartbeat.
Who?
It's the woman that plays Oliver Queen's mother in Arrow. Moira.
So I have a similar problem with getting crushes on older women. Hey,
Yes. But watch this, Andy. All right, I have a question for you, Isaiah. Which one is hotter, Sally Field or Judge Judy?
Oh Lord.
Judge Judy.
Yeah. See, that's a problem. That is a problem. He needs psychological help.
What? You won't get in trouble. You ain't gonna go to jail.
but you think she's hotter than Sally Field?
Hey, don't look at me. I like the hair.
Oh. All right.
Isaiah,
I have a question for you. Who's hotter, Emma Watson or Judge Judy?
Emma Watson. I'm sorry. That's
Okay,
no contest.
all right.
Emma Watson.
All right. We don't.
He can be saved.
He can be saved.
Okay. No, but I liked Aunt May in this one. She actually gets to have her own life a little bit. It's not about like, Peter, I have a speech for you. No, she's dealing with her shit. She's working at as a nurse, whatever. You know what? That's great. Let her be her own character. Let her be, like, that's what I love. That she's not just a housewife or whatever. So.
You said housewife.
I'm sorry, wasn't that what she was in the first trilogy?
I don't know about a housewife, but maybe.
I thought she was still working at. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought she was working at a diner.
She retired though. She
sure in the hell wasn't a nurse. I know that.
No, she was a retired something. She retired, so that's why she lived at the house so much more. And Uncle Ben took her and stuff. So, anyways, back to the movie.
All right, Harry begins to show symptoms of his illness. He starts to freak the fuck out, and so he gets a hold of his friend Peter and goes, "Hey, Peter, you must know Spider-Man, right? Because took this picture of him." And Peter's all like, "No." And then basically says, "Yeah, I need Spider-Man's blood," and Peter's like, "No."
Right. And before we go any further, also behind the scenes, Harry and his bigwig fellows who used to work with his father are actually planning something against him. Like how Max got to that accident, they're going to plan it against Harry Osborn to kick him out of the company. So that was really interesting. I didn't like that plot. So that was really cool.
Yeah, the big conspiracy within Oscorp, like taking down the top people and so on.
No, in fact, that happened in the first one.
That's right. I forgot that all of that happens after. Sorry, the stuff I was talking about actually happened after Max Dillon becomes Electro. That's right. Because the fight between Spider-Man and Electro happened before then. So yeah, there's the conversation where they're like, okay, we can't have this kid as our CEO. Then we have like everyone dismissing Max Dillon and going, "Hey, go do this. We don't care if it's your birthday."
Yeah, which pissed me off.
Oh, can you turn the safeties on? No, I'm going out to lunch. Well, fuck you. Like, spend the half second it takes to flip a fucking switch so I don't fucking die.
That was so unhuman. It was like, seriously, there's no person on this planet Earth would say that shit. It's like, no, I would turn that off because you might die. There's no way on Earth that could happen.
I mean, shit, can you imagine just the insurance premiums because of that crap?
Right. It's like, why would you go into the most dangerous place? And then you got, oh, God, I was so stupid. Oh.
And then he becomes Electro, and then he realizes that power is food, and then he tries to drink Times Square.
Yeah, like any other New Yorker.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's drink in Times Square. That's not drink Times Square, that's drink in Times Square.
Oh, yeah. Well, he wasn't escaping New York City. Get it? Escaping New York City?
So, now that we have muted Isaiah, and by we, I mean me, let's see. So, yeah, they end up getting in a fight. Spider-Man, of course, wins. He also saves a bunch of fucking people. Right. And he does the best demonstration of Spidey sense that they possibly could ever do. Because he was reacting to things before they happened. Yeah. Which I don't think that they really portrayed all that well in the original Sam Raimi movie.
Well, they did at first, but in the second one, it got a little bit lackadaisical. In the third one, don't get me started.
Yeah, well, in the second one, he just like loses powers completely.
Yeah, due to stress.
Yeah, and that by the way, the second movie is one of the ones that Charles is defending. You know, the one in which Spider-Man lost his powers because he's an emo bitch.
No, that was the third one. That was the third one.
Charles is not watching this hangout, let alone participating.
No, he's not. He's not even listening to us.
I am listening because when Spider-Man turns emo, when Spider-Man turns emo is in Spider-Man 3. However, he does lose his powers in the second movie somewhat, but it's not because he's emo. It's because he can't decide on what he wants.
That's stress. That's what it is. Stress. You didn't hear me say stress 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. See, I do listen, you assholes.
But you're always spaced out. It's like
not two times if he's done.
But yeah, it was very good.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, but again, that was really colorful fights. It felt like a video game in a bad and good way, but it was still colorful. I liked how the graphics were. Nice.
Are you making fun of Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Fuck Scott Pilgrim. I like the game, but fuck him.
I have never seen the Scott Pilgrim movie or played the game.
Isaiah is on a 5-minute timeout.
Yeah, but I do have a little nitpick I have to say about that fight scene between Electro and Spider-Man. The fight scene the first fight scene between the Midtown Times Square, whatever it's called. That fight scene was okay, but I would have to say that the main issue I had with it was the music. I could not stand Electro's theme. I just could not stand it.
I want to speak on that first. I will say that I love Hans Zimmer. I think he's like.
Oh no, I love Hans Zimmer too, but.
You're killing me, Vanilla. You're killing me.
Hans Zimmer is good, but he's not the best. He's maybe 3 when it comes to soundtracks.
Sure.
No, the best I would have to say would be a mix between Jerry Goldsmith and John Williams.
John Williams, I would say, was 2. Jerry Goldsmith, I would say, is 4. Number 1 would be, I'm forgetting his fucking name because I'm blanking out, but Nightmare Before Christmas, the original Batman.
Yeah.
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman. I think Danny Elfman is number 1. John Williams is number 2. Hans Zimmer is number 3. Jerry Goldsmith is number 4.
No, Jerry Goldsmith I would probably end up giving me as a number 2, maybe a 1, but because Jerry Goldsmith's music is just so damn beautiful, and I love it. I loved his score for The Shadow. I loved his score for all the Star Trek movies. I've loved his score for the movie Powder. Hell, the music that he did in the movie Powder, that literally brought tears to my eyes, man.
Of course you would love a movie called Powder.
You guys talk about me.
That's because you're in love with the pedophile producer.
What? No.
Who?
Did you not know?
Yes.
And he might not be old enough to remember the whole controversy behind Powder. But it was either the producer or the director, one of the two.
It was the director, Victor Sal.
Was actually arrested, and I think he fled the United States.
Just like Pulaski.
Served time too. He served time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, basically for being a pedophile.
Yeah. I won't watch his movies anymore because of that. So.
Okay, but wow, you talk about me. What about Charles? He's the more crazier one.
Yeah, this is his craziest episode ever been with him. I will say this about the music, and Vanilla, if you interrupt me one more time, because I need to get to this point. I like stop it. I like the experiment they did with the music, with him, talking. We would hear his thoughts as in like dubstep or whatever. It was interesting, but it wasn't like the best thing I've ever heard. But I tolerated it.
Yeah, exactly, and I tolerated it as well. It wasn't great, but
it was
it's one of those things you could easily ignore.
Right, it wasn't bad. It was just background noise, really.
Well, his music that they did, the dubstep and all the classical stuff, there were certain parts of it that I did like. However, when I listened to the full song somewhere on YouTube, I found out that I didn't particularly care for it, and that explained why I didn't like it in the movie, because it played certain parts of the music that I didn't like. And
is there anything you care about this movie at all?
There is a couple of things, and I will get to it later, because it happens later in the movie. However, just that whole stuff with Electro's theme, well, for starters, it had to involve dubstep. Now, with dubstep, I'm indifferent towards most dubstep. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I don't rip on it, I don't praise it, I'm just like, oh, this sounds cool, or oh, I don't particularly care for that. In this case, I just didn't care for it.
Alright, so, again, I'm trying to get through this movie, I swear. Harry is framed by members of Oscorp for covering up the accident involving Max Dillon. He gets thrown out of his own company. Felicia Hardy actually... Oh, wait. Let me see. I'm trying to remember if this happens... before that, of course, was... I'm getting my events mixed up. I apologize. He ends up finding the secret files. That's when he ends up getting Spider-Man, and Spider-Man says, fuck no. Well, I should say Peter Parker says, fuck no.
Right, but that was kind of cold, though.
Spider-Man shows up, and Spider-Man says, fuck no. And then that's when he gets ousted from his own company.
Well, the reason behind that was Peter Parker was actually thinking about giving his blood to Harry, but when he saw that videotape from his father and the whole workshop lab, it's like, really? And he said, okay, I'm not giving his blood to me. Okay, I'm not going to do it. Which is like, really, dude? I mean, yes, he's your father, but he's your best friend who might die from an awful, painful disease.
Yeah, you should totally choose your friends over your dead father. Absolutely.
Pretty much that way. If my friend had cancer, I'll give him my blood.
Isaiah, maybe in this case, it would have been better for Harry, to have died, rather than, having to go through the things that Peter is not going through. Because, look, the beauty with Spider-Man is that he looks at his power as both a curse and a blessing.
Right. But you gotta look at Harry. You gotta look at Harry's point. It's like a cancer, a really bad cancer about his own disease, and he's looking for anything. He was very desperate. So
yeah, we've already had this storyline play out in the first movie. You had fucking Connors, who's all like, "I can't live my fucking life with one hand. I need two hands to be a fucking."
That one, he wasn't dying. With that one, he wasn't dying from anything.
He was still obsessed with fixing himself through these things, and he still ended up turning into a giant fucking lizard because of it. So Spider-Man's looking at this and going, "What the fuck? You're doing this experimentation." That guy was 1,000,000 times smarter than you are, Harry. 1,000,000 fucking times smarter than you.
Oh.
And look what happened to him.
Also, before we get any lost, the big reveal behind everything is that the lizard Everything else is due Peter Parker's father, the blood. That's how he. That's why the spider powers actually work on him. Because his father tested on him with the radioactive spiders and everything else. That's why everything else is in that motion. It's because of his father. That's why he said everything is his fault, which it clearly is.
Yeah, but they didn't know that at this time. At least not yet.
Well, in that lab, he told him. That fucking crazy lab that came out of nowhere. Like, oh, there's a lab? Okay.
But then Felicia Hardy, at least we assume she's Felicia Hardy. They actually only refer to her as Felicia.
She's Felicia Hardy.
Yeah, I am glad that I'm not the only one that noticed that, because as soon as they said her name, Felicia, I was like, wait a minute, Black Cat?
Wow, you know that character? Wow. That's amazing.
Yes, I know about Black Cat.
But not about Wally West.
Okay.
Because I never followed the Flash.
Felicia Hardy, fuck, guys, informs Harry about all the secret projects that are underneath Oscorp. And then, of course, he goes downstairs, basically checks out the stuff that's down there. Let's see. He didn't release Electro right then. He released him later, right?
Right, he was trying to find him. Yes.
That's right. Let's see. That's when they switch back over to Peter. Peter's actually looking to locate the video message that his father left, and then that's when he starts looking for. Well, it's not the first time, but that's when he goes looking for Roosevelt. That's when he finds the change. I think that was then, right?
Yes. That's when he took over. He took over his. He tried to take back his corporation thanks to Electro, which he released, which was very cool too. And yeah, he made a pact with him too. This would get Spider-Man. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
And that's what he transforms to Green Goblin, which was interesting. It was.
It reminded me of some. I love this dude. I like the transformation too. Like I feel like even though he didn't go full on, going enormous monster. Like wait, I like the transformation still. That he, there was parts of it. His mouth, his eyes, his.
I like the face.
I have to say that in the trailers, in the screenshots that they had before the movie, I did and I kind of stayed away from spoilers. So I stayed away from people that were talking about it. I kind of thought that maybe it was Harry, but I wasn't sure. He looks different enough in the poor screenshots that they put out before the movie that I wasn't sure it was the same person.
Yeah, I was the same way. I wasn't sure if it was Harry.
I knew it was Harry. I was so.
I mean, it kind of had to be Harry, but at the same time, because of the fact that I was intentionally not studying it, there was at least a little bit of doubt.
Now regarding and then on the subject of Norman, he ain't really dead, is he?
Yeah,
I think he is dead.
Yeah, we saw his head. Remember? We saw his head. Now I'll go back to that later. But yeah,
I think he actually is dead. I know where you're coming from. If you don't actually say a person die on screen, he probably isn't dead. That's kind of a comic book and comic book movie.
Yeah, but he is dead though.
But I think in this particular case he is. But
yeah, because we saw his head. But again, I can't tell you where. Yeah.
Not only that, but if he wasn't dead, we probably would have seen him as the bad guy in this movie.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's just. That's when Peter ends up getting the voicemail saying that she actually was offered the job in England. I know I'm skipping a lot of things, but I'm trying to push this hangout forward. And then Peter ends up, of course, catching up with her on the bridge, which was another plot hole of many.
Right.
Because how the fuck did he find her?
Well, he's Spider-Man. He can't find anyone.
But that was
I forgot that Spider-Man equates to Batman.
Right. We got back to Gotham out of nowhere. Like, hey, how'd you get to Gotham?
With Superman's X-ray vision. Yeah.
Or going back in time.
Damn strange.
And then they talk and they kiss and they agree to go to England together. But first, let's have a blackout.
That was such a jinx.
And by blackout, I mean we're kicking Isaiah out of the hangout. So, I'm just kidding, Isaiah.
Racism. That's all it is. Racism.
It is. That is exactly what it is. Let's see. There's the Blackout. They end up fighting Electro, who's now like superpowered. But
Yeah.
I would argue that he was superpowered in the first fight as well.
Right.
I mean, dude was fucking flying and doing like
He was OP.
knocked out the entire city in that first fight.
Right. It's like, dude, you're OP. You're overpowerful. You can kill Spider-Man like no tomorrow. Like, goddamn. And it was very stupid too. Like, he made how he actually can survive Electro's attacks. It's like, okay, and your spy webs can actually sustain him too. Okay, MacGyver, good job. So where's Tony Stark at?
That's one of the things that we had kind of glossed over is after the first fight and his spider shooter got zapped, basically overcharged. He then redesigned them to be able to handle their own against electricity.
See, this is what I love about this Peter Parker, that he's smart, that we can see, him build these different web shooters. Like,
well, he didn't ground his web shooters from being shorted out by the electricity on his own. Gwen was the one that told him about that.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's true.
still saw him build them.
Yeah, but he sucked at it.
You have to realize that he made those fucking. He used someone else's work, but he built those fucking shooters himself. He did the actual tooling of those things.
Yeah, but you need someone who's actually behind who knows what they're doing.
The Peter Parker from the other movies, from the Sam Raimi movies, he didn't build any shit like that. Nothing like that.
So he had no web shooters. He came from his wrist. But
Yeah.
here, yeah. And also, I got really confused at these web shooters. When they run out, because in the comic books and TV show, he always runs out of web slings most times. It's like, did he ever run out? No.
That's just it. Is that was pretty common in the old comic books, but nowadays, from what I have seen, a lot of times, depending on the writer, he will always have extra cartridges.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like and then underneath his shirt or something like that. That's what I remember from the animated show.
Yeah, under the shit,
And that's just it. Is fucking Ben Reilly basically had a fucking his web cartridges were all like when Ben Reilly was Scarlet Spider and when he was Spider-Man, he had fucking cartridges. He just fucking turned a little thing on his wrist and the next cartridge came in.
Yeah, that was still cool.
Yeah, I mean, he fucking had that shit hooked up.
Right, and Venom never had a problem either. It was always his suit that was like the web slinging, so that was the reason behind that. But here is like, okay, MacGyver. So where's Tony Stark at? He's not here? Oh, okay, MacGyver.
Can you stop calling him MacGyver all the time? Jeez.
Okay.
So then they fight over the Giants electromagnetic electricity city. I don't have another word for it.
It's a power station or a power grid.
Yeah, but it was huge.
Or a power plant, really. You can call it that, too.
It was basically the size. Well, I'm not the shape, but it was basically the size of an aircraft carrier. It was huge.
That's what we see from power plants. You see that they're very huge because they got started with the energy. It's like, okay, he's here. You do know he made even more powerful, right, Spider-Man? No, I got a plan.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a great plan.
And then, of course, basically, they finally overpower. Literally, Electro, make him explode into nothingness, and they're like, "Oh, we won the day! Yay! Let's go home and party, and then we're gonna go to England, and we're safe now, right?"
No.
And they get their first fucking glimpse of Green Goblin.
Yeah, that was so abrupt. It's like, hey, this is like Venom. Oh crap, it's like Venom. Fuck.
And basically, so like Harry Osborn's all like, "Fuck you for not giving me your blood. I had to use the venom, and now I'm a monster, and it's your fault."
Blah 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 blah.
No,
blah,
it's not my fault, because if you had my blood, this would have happened either way.
Yeah, pretty much because the venom is actually part of the whole spider project, which his father was. So that's pretty much the same damn thing.
Spider Project.
The Spider Project.
I said it.
And then, of course, the two of them fight at the top of the clock tower. Gwen Stacy tries to get the fuck out of Dodge, and kind of does. Starts falling down the clock tower, and Spider-Man's all like, no! Tries to save her, and of course that's when Gwen Stacy dies. Now, this is a scene I actually do want to get into depth with.
Yeah, I want to get that.
Because of the fact that in the comics, this scene actually happened at a bridge. And they kind of do it in the movie, I think the second movie of the Sam Raimi series with Mary Jane.
It was
the first. It was the first.
Mary Jane, and also Aunt May in the second one too, when he was coming at the same speed as well. So yeah.
Well, in this one, the whole thing is they actually kind of, although they didn't acknowledge it in the movie or out loud, they did show it in the movie, is that he was able to shoot the web at her, and he was able to catch her.
Right.
But it wasn't the fall, it was the sudden stop at the end.
Yeah,
basically,
gravity.
Because one, he didn't get it in time. Even if he had gotten it in time, she probably would have snapped her neck.
Obviously.
But he didn't get it in time, so not only did she snap her neck, but she also ran her fucking head into the ground at 115 miles per hour.
Yeah, and plus, History Channel did something like this too.
She wasn't just dead; she was dead.
No, dead's a doorknob.
Hella dead.
Right. In the comic book, it was 10 times worse because when he web shoot her, it was her ankle, and her head just snaps because of the G-force and the sudden stop.
Yeah.
That was his fault too, because he's like, "Oh shit, I killed her." No. But again, History Channel already proved this too. When you do that type of stuff, that's why the Sam Raimi's one was a little bit like it was reasonable because he was at the same force and gravity where someone was falling. He didn't do that stupid shit like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait from up here." That was stupid though.
Well, this scene with Gwen Stacy is one of the two scenes in this movie that I did like. Because, first, with Gwen Stacy's death, it was expected. I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to happen. And how they delivered it, I was happy with how they did it. I was pleased.
I was happy and sad behind it.
Oh, no. What I mean by being happy is that they did it right. They did it right. Because they killed her. They killed her like she was supposed to be killed for the movie.
Yeah, you weren't happy. You weren't happy to see her. You were sad to see her go, but you were happy that they did it the right way. So
okay, go ahead.
I was going to say that I wanted her to be around at least another movie, if not another 2 movies.
Same here.
I want to get rid of her.
Here's what I'm gonna say right now. The minute I saw, because I saw set photos, I saw the outfit because she wore the exact same clothes from the comic book, and I will say this. Here's what it was heartbreaking. It was correct. It felt just like the comic book. The thing is, like you guys say, here's what I think they should have done with this movie for the third one. They should have kept the Green Goblin turning into Norman in the third one, kept Gwen Stacy around for one more movie, and made this movie about Spider-Man versus Electro, just like this classic one hero versus one villain.
Yeah, I agree with that. That would have been better too. It would have been very much better.
I will say that
luckily, it was mostly against Electro. Luckily, the other 2 bad guys they ended up putting in right at the beginning and right at the end. And made it mostly about Electro. And that made it to where I could stand it.
I felt like that Green Goblin fight was so abrupt. Like, oh, okay, he's here in the last 30 minutes. Wow. Just like Venom. Wow. Good for you.
Yes.
So Peter drops off the radar. Well, not Peter, but Spider-Man drops off the radar. 5 months passes. He's already been to Gwen's grave. Harry ends up getting visited by basically by folks who tell him that they found a man capable of operating the Rhino armor. Someone who's crazy enough and big enough to do it. And then, of course, that's when the Rhino ends up coming around. 5 months has passed, by the way. Yeah. And everybody's all like, "Where's Spider-Man? We need Spider-Man right now." And of course, that's when the kid steps up, and this kid's all like, "I'm Spider-Man." And really, the Rhino actually reacted rather well. I mean, he acted like he fucking actually liked kids. He would have probably still killed the kid, but he had respect for this little kid who was willing to step up to him. Because literally, that kid is smaller than the boot of that Rhino armor.
Right. And also, before we get any further, we got that whole. But since Peter Parker was in a big old fucking depression, he saw that recording of Gwen Stacy making that graduation speech, which we all seen that was coming. Like, oh, okay, we seen that. Since he didn't see it, he's gonna see it sometime down the road. Like, oh, Gwen Stacy, you're right. I should get back in the game again. Up and away. Oh, it's Superman. Never mind.
And basically, of course, he ends up fighting Rhino. I don't think we actually see the end. No, we don't see the end of that fight. But we assume that he kicked the shit out of the Rhino.
I want to see that. I want to see that fight.
And then the credits roll. And then halfway through the credits, we see a preview for the X-Men movie.
Whoa.
Well, I hope everyone understands why they did that. So that it was because it was a deal between Sony and Fox, because Fox had originally planned to have Mark Webb as director for one of their movies. I don't know which one, but Sony was like, "Oh my God, we want Mark Webb so much. Please, can we make a deal?" And Fox was like, "You can have him if you give us some help in the promotional for X-Men Days of Future Past." So
I did not stay for. Sorry, Andy. I was just gonna say real quickly. I did not stay for any of the post-credit scenes. I didn't.
There was one, and it had nothing to do with the movie. So
it had nothing to do with nothing. It was no crossover. There was nothing. Trust me.
That's just it. Is I figured that they were doing that basically so they could get more people to watch the fucking movie after the Bryan Singer scandal.
Nope. Nope. Sorry.
That was done long before that happened.
Yep. And now that movie's pretty much fucked. Sorry to say. It really is. I'm not trying to be mean, but it kind of
I don't agree. As many people went to go see fucking Ender's Game, people are going to go see this movie as well. Are going to go see it.
I'm not trying to tell people that you shouldn't see it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like...
Isaiah, we live in a society where people mostly separate the artist from the person, so people can see...
Okay, like this. In this game, it's just because some guy's opinion, which was stupid by all means, but that was his opinion. Bryan Singer, it's another big issue.
It hasn't been proven guilty yet. That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly, Andy. And you know what? If he is guilty, if he did do those things, fuck him. I hope he goes to hell, and I hope the devil puts a pineapple up his ass.
I hope.
Just like the South Park movies. However, if he did not do it, he should not be crucified. If he did not do it, that's exactly what's happening.
I'm really hoping he didn't do it. I'm rooting for his innocence, but I mean,
you've been down on that.
I just think that these accusations. Sorry, Andy. God damn it! I keep doing it. But you know what? I'm gonna shut up. I will say this. Andy, go.
I will say this: if he's innocent, I hope this will not affect his chance to get dragged to Apocalypse. I think if he's innocent, he should still get to do it. I think it's unfair, you know. And also, once again, look at the timing. This is almost too.
Yeah, but there's two allegations now.
Well, this accuser has now accused a bunch of other producers and directors.
Because he was at that party he was in, a rowdy pedophile party.
Well, I'm not going to get political about this. I'm just, if he's guilty, that makes me very sad. I'm still going to see the movie. If he's not guilty, I'm going to feel very sorry for him, and I hope he was to get the right Apocalypse.
And also, sorry. Lastly, before we end this little topic, Bryan Singer is one of his friends who we didn't see. He was in a cameo too. Brian Peck. He's the guy who made I'm gonna mess this movie up. Return of the Living Dead, which I did like until the director and writer of that movie was a sex offender. He was charged in 2003. He was in the X-Men movies in 2003. So yeah. And he was on the X-Men, the first one as well. And if he's in this, I mean, he was around Bryan Singer. Again, this guy's in a lot of kids movies. Like, why are you around stupid? Why are you around kids? Who is this stupid in Hollywood? A lot of people. So it's the company you keep that makes you wonder.
All right, so let's talk about the goods and the bads of this movie. Okay,
Yeah.
We'll go with the goods first. We're going to go with the goods first. What that means, Charles, Isaiah, we're only talking about the good things. No interrupting with the bad things. Okay?
Fair enough.
All right.
I will say this: if I get interrupted by Vanilla one more time, I'm walking.
All right. Good things. Of course, the Peter and Gwen relationship, their actual chemistry that they have is extremely good in this movie, and you see the best of it when they're talking about becoming friends again. Like you really see it there because that's when they're doing the these are the things that you can't do. These are the ground rules. You can't do that thing with your nose, and you can't say that I'm beautiful with those brown doe eyes and things like that. That was an amazing scene. Showed the chemistry between the two of them and made the end so much more tragic.
Right. That's why I like it so much because those two. And pretty much it was Gwen and Stacy too. It was just natural. It wasn't like phony. It was just natural, like you see in everyday culture. Like, okay, this is actually normal. This is human. So I like that a lot.
I could see those two dating in real life.
They are dating love.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it.
Yeah.
Oh my! Are you not following the gossip, man?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't watch OK Magazine.
Right.
I can't even look at you right now, and it's.
He is ashamed with you, Matt.
Yes.
Yeah.
So different points.
Other good things. Sally Field was amazing.
Yes.
Let's see what else. I did like him, Jamie Foxx as Electro. Even if you didn't like his story, his acting as Electro was it was electric.
That was so cool.
That was awful, Matt. That was awful.
Let me see. What else? The plot holes of which we're about to get to, they were easily ignorable because of the fact that you genuinely liked the characters.
Well, I like Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker's characters the most, and Jim Fox was good too, and Harry Osborn had a good arc too. So yeah, I agree with that.
I'm gonna say this. I loved, like you said, I love Gwen and Peter. I think Emma and Andrew, they have some of the best chemistry in a superhero movie. I will say here's my top 3 favorite chemistries in the superhero franchises. Number 1 is it's not a rank. It's just like a random order. Number 1 is Robert Downey Jr. and Gwyneth Paltrow. Number 2 is Henry Cavill and Amy Adams, and number 3 is Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield. Not in a particular order. Just no, it's not an order. No. Yeah, I think they had something, but you hate everything I say. So.
No, that was crowbarred in. That was crowbarred. This was natural. That was crowbarred.
But I will say, like Matt said, Sally Field as Aunt May, fantastic. I hope she gets a bigger role next movie. Get her a love interest. My favorite thing was that we have a fucking J. Jonah Jameson in this universe, and I swear to God, if they do not get J.K. Simmons, I swear I will fly up to wherever Mark Webb is sitting and be like, dude, are you smoking what Charles Whedon is smoking? Because it ain't good for you. Get J.K. Simmons. When we read that email that said wrong, I only heard J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons was the gentleman who did it in the Sam Raimi movies, right?
Right. He was perfect.
Yes.
Really perfect.
Yeah, he was a very good J. Jonah Jameson.
Just like the
I'm actually hoping that there is. I do not see it as he's the only one who can play that character. I think that there are other people who could possibly play that character.
I don't know
as well, if not more serious. Because the J. Jonah Jameson that was in those particular movies was somewhat funny, and I think it needs to be a much more serious role.
Why? Why does this dark and gritty Spider-Man universe need to have one of its funniest characters? Yeah, why can't we have some?
Because the fact that Spider-Man is supposed to be a light in the darkness. That's the whole point. Is he's supposed to be the comic relief, and everyone else is the straight man. Everyone else is the straight man.
I know. I just think it would be good to have, aside from Spider-Man, maybe another funny villain.
Right.
A funny character.
He's a villain, though. He's a villain.
I didn't mean the villain.
No, he's a villain. John Jameson, he is a villain.
He's a villain in the Silver Age. He's not necessarily a villain currently.
Well, he's a governor or a mayor. Surprisingly. Scary.
But, yeah, I mean, in the old comic books, dude used to be basically Lex Luthor. He'd have fucking sets of armor and shit to fight Spider-Man hand-to-hand. I mean, he was definitely a bad guy for a little while there. But, that's not the case anymore.
But I miss those things. I miss he was just a villain towards Spider-Man. That was really good. Until it ended in New Avengers. Because Captain America and Iron Man told him to actually shut the fuck up about Spider-Man. That was fun.
Yeah, I hope it shakes him as because they've been teasing on that as well. It seemed that they are probably gonna cast him again because Mark Webb he was very coy when he said well, he's a great actor and he did a character well, so he said you never know, Isaiah.
Exactly.
Everyone's an hour and 18 minutes, Andy.
See, everyone's picking up that word. You never know because I'm right. You never know. And Matt and Deanna just hit me for it. And
do we ever even really care to know?
Hell yes.
You never know. You want to know.
See? There you go.
So, we know?
If it would not end the hangout, I would leave. I'm being serious. All right. So let me see. What else
do you like?
What are the things we can bitch about? Go ahead, Charles. Go ahead.
Wait. Let me start. It's one thing. Please.
Go.
Okay. The thing that was so sad with this movie was that this is a very predictable movie. Like, I wasn't very surprised about a lot of things. And look, I still love the movie. I had a blast seeing it, and I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out. But it was like, I knew this was happening, I knew this was happening, I knew this was happening, I knew this was happening.
Yeah. That's how it sounded for me, too. It's just predictable. That's why I was so disappointed. It's just very predictable. When I look at Captain America, Winter Soldier, it was so unpredictable. I didn't see that coming. Like, oh, shit, really? Really? But making Spider-Man 2 was like, oh, that was predictable. So that was my main gripe with it. It was just very predictable as hell.
I would agree with the predictability of this movie. However, my biggest gripes with this was just Electro himself. Well, not himself, but the fight scenes. They were just stupid. The only one that I kind of liked was the one at Town Square. That one was okay at best. The fight scene at the Power Grid, downright stupid. I could not stand that fight scene. Another thing I had a problem with was, the interactions between Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker, especially the one where Gwen Stacy went up to get interviewed for Oxford, and just the whole them talking with that woman just sitting there. During that entire scene, I had to look away. It was embarrassing to watch. It was embarrassing. I just could not watch it. I had to look. I was tempted to walk out of the theater right then and there.
What?
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. Even I like that part.
It was embarrassing. But it's not just Amazing Spider-Man. I can't stand scenes like that in any movie. It doesn't matter what movie it is. I just cannot watch those.
Supernatural.
Original.
Shut up. I
don't.
Isaiah, hush now. Let Charles speak. Okay, Charles, what else did you hate about the movie?
Let's see.
He has a long list, probably, on his lap. He's like,
well, I'm not. There was a lot of things I had a problem with, but I'm not going to touch on them all. I think the last thing I'm going to mention is Green Goblin. My main issue is that Green Goblin, the first Green Goblin, is and always has been and always will be Norman Osborn. Harry Osborn doesn't become the Green Goblin until after Norman Osborn is already gone.
Okay. As a counterpoint, here's the thing. I have to defend Sony in this matter. I think they really want to separate themselves as much as possible from the Raimi franchise, so they want to switch things up a bit. And look, I will say this
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I keep doing it. I'm sorry.
I will say this. When I first found out that he was going to become the Green Goblin, I was like, but what's even the point of casting Chris Cooper? But here's the thing. I understand that they want to be different from the Raimi franchise, and I'm gonna give them I have to give them some slack on that, and it's gonna give us maybe a different kind of that's why Green Goblin's gonna feel so much more powerful when we see him next time. It's because he's gonna be Norman Osborn, and he's gonna be like, "This is how you do it, bitch. Go, Vanilla."
All right. All right, I've got this to say on that particular note. If they wanted to be different than the Sam Raimi movies, then don't have the same fucking bad guys. Spider-Man has plenty of fucking bad guys.
A lot of bad guys.
A lot of fucking bad guys. I'd love to fucking see like one that had Mysterio and the Vulture. Like that would be a good move. That could be a very good move.
And we have an Easter egg to that. We have an Easter egg. We have Doctor Octopus. We have also Vulture. So you're gonna get. But think about it.
We're gonna get them in the Sinister Six.
Hold up. That was my other second biggest gripe. Besides the ability, it was how the movie just pretty much shoved down Sinister Six idea down our throats. Completely hard. Like, okay, we get it. Sinister Six. Please shut up. Can I watch the movie? No, talk about Sinister Six. Let's talk about Sinister Six.
And I will.
I was just gonna say, Andy, real quick. I'm sorry. It's just when you were saying earlier, saying that they were trying to distance themselves from the Sam Raimi films with Green Goblin, I can kind of understand that if Green Goblin was actually good. Dane DeHaan, there's only one movie with him in it that I've actually liked, and it was Chronicle. Yes. But Dane DeHaan in this movie, even when he was Harry Osborn and Green Goblin, both were just really stupid. It just screamed overacting. It screamed overacting so bad. I wanted to punch him in the face because it was irritating the hell out of me. Green Goblin was bad. Was very, very bad. I was kind of hoping that I know what some of you were saying that like with J. Jonah Jameson that you can't see J.K. Simmons being the only one ever playing that role. However, with Green Goblin, I can't imagine anyone else playing that role other than Willem Dafoe. That guy was flawless as Green Goblin.
I think he could. I think Chris Cooper might be able to do a good job. But the thing is, they're.
Go ahead. I'm not going to finish what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'm going to say this to what Steve was saying. I felt one of the nitpicks I have about this movie was that this was not its own movie. It was like, oh, if you stick around for this one, you will get to see this. Sinister Six, you will see this. Why not? You will see like they were trying to use this as a promotional tool to get to these other three movies. So
Bingo.
It wasn't like really its own movie, sadly. I still enjoyed it, but it was just like this was kind of like just a platform for these other films. And I understand. And I understand they want to expand the universe. They want to kind of make it their own cinematic universe and so on. But you don't need to use because this could have been a better movie. I will say that I loved it, but it could have been better.
I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I have to actually agree. That I enjoyed the movie. Absolutely. Was it as good as any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies? Not at all. Even it's. I mean, this one's better than fucking Iron Man 2. Or sorry, Iron Man 2 is better than this one, I should say. Yeah, and Iron Man 2 is easily the worst of the series.
Yeah.
So, but I still enjoyed it. It still carried me through. I still walked out of the theater happy to have spent my $12.
Well.
Yeah, and I will probably end up. I'm very seriously considering going to see it in a theater again.
I mean, it's not a bad movie. Sorry, go ahead.
And we didn't really talk about these things because there was actually something I think Diana said, like in a previous episode. I don't know if it was a Conclave or it was like a Shield discussion, but speaking of the Sinister Things, we finally find out who the Man in the Shadow is, and he and I we called it.
They didn't really say who he was. I didn't get that vibe a little bit.
Well, if you recognize his name or whatever.
Well, I looked up that name too. What, Charles?
Oh, he dies the guy at the end. That's right. I forgot what that reference was. That was an Easter egg, but I don't think I know that character.
You want me to say it?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
If people have not seen the movie already, then fuck them. Why are they watching this hangout? So go for it.
The gentleman.
Okay. See, I don't know who that character is.
Well, he's apparently like one of the creators. Like he's one of the founding members. Like he's kind of like a boss of the Sinister Six.
Are you sure? Because I looked at the gentleman. It's like, are you sure he's not the Kingpin? Because the Kingpin has been called the Gentleman as well.
No, it is a different character.
I looked at that.
When I did a search, I searched for the name Fires, and it came up with the guy that was involved with the whole gentleman thing, and he was in charge of the Sinister Six. He was responsible for setting it up. So
now
yeah.
I have a question. I have a question for the panel, specifically Andy and maybe even Isaiah. Is we are looking at a specific Sinister Six movie, right? Like
Right.
that is the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think we also already know who the members here now, because
Well,
apparently this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But there was like some sort of app you could get to your phone. If you held it up towards the credits, you get to see like six Easter eggs, and one was Vulture, Rhino, Green Goblin, Kraven the Hunter, Rhino, and then what people are assuming it's either Black Cat or Mysterio or Chameleon.
Not
Well,
Doc Ock.
Oh yes, Doc Ock,
Well-
Ock, Rhino,
well,
Kraven,
actually, Andy,
Green
they're
Goblin.
trying. Oh, sorry. But I think they're trying to distance themselves from the Sam Raimi movie. I think they won't go for that Doctor Octopus or Vulture because Sam Raimi was going for that Vulture movie, but Sony turned him down. This is why we got Spider-Man. So if they do pull out a Vulture and Doctor Octopus, that's pretty much slapping him in the face twice.
What I would like to see, and I've said this a million times ever since I saw the Daredevil movie, it has convinced me that we need to see a movie in which the Kingpin is a much more central feature, central character. Obviously, it's not going to be Michael Clark Duncan. It could even be a white guy. Hey, what a thought! But Kingpin is such a compelling bad guy because he's completely human, and while he sometimes will hire superhumans, like for the most part, he just uses thugs, and he is so fucking powerful in New York.
Right.
That that would be a hell of a movie.
And also, he's good at hand-to-hand combat too. He gives Toto and Spider-Man hand-to-hand combat, which is really cool.
Here's a problem though. Here's a problem with the Kingpin, and this is legal rights. We don't know if it's a shared character between Sony and Marvel because Kingpin is technically a Daredevil character. And look, I will say, look, technically, I grew up with the Spider-Man cartoon. Kingpin was the first thing I saw as a villain, and he wasn't Spider-Man. I see him more as a Spider-Man villain. But from what I've heard, he is apparently in with Marvel and Disney. But it could be a shared thing, but I don't know.
Who owns the rights to the Kingpin? I'm looking it up on Google right now. Superhero height. Sony originally owned the rights to use the Kingpin since that character is most associated with Spider-Man. However, Fox bought out the rights so they could use him for Daredevil. Now that Daredevil is back at Marvel, did the Kingpin rights revert to Sony, or does Marvel have them now? Avi Arad has stated that the character rights fell under the Spider-Man contract under Sony and were loaned to Fox for use in the Daredevil movie.
But Kevin Feige said something about that, and like we need to listen to what Kevin Feige is saying. That's the problem.
If they can what?
We need to listen. We need to see what Kevin Feige said about this. Kevin Feige.
Well, I just looked up it now. Screen Rant just gave us a full listing what Sony owns and what Fox owns, and I don't see Kingpin on here.
Let me.
I'll put in the chat.
Because there is an interview that he did recently.
Yeah.
And I know that it's like he should take and let's see. Okay, here's what he said. Kingpin we either have or somehow share. I'm not 100% clear on that. So it's either theirs or they can both use him.
So it's like saying the Skrulls as well, because Fox and Marvel can use them because it's a shared villain.
Yeah. So, look, I think it would be cool if the Kingpin in the Daredevil movie TV show is black, because I think they should honor Michael Duncan, because as much as people hate Daredevil, Clark Duncan was effing awesome as Kingpin.
He was the best part of that movie.
He was the best, yes.
Yeah.
I miss him.
I think we should. Yes, I met somebody. May he rest in peace. I think we should honor his memory by having him having the next Kingpin also be African American.
I don't know. I think a lot of people would argue the exact opposite thing, is that you don't want to basically make a mockery of this character by making the character black.
How is it mockery?
So I mean, it cuts both ways actually.
Right.
Well, those people are selling it because it's not a mockery; it's an honoring. Because by continuing like a trend, you're honoring what came before.
If you
And
are
you know what?
if you are mimicking something, in this particular case, if you are making that character and the person who plays that character is not as good as Michael Clark Duncan, that would be a mockery. If the person that is actually doing the acting is as good as Michael Clark Duncan, then yes, you are honoring him.
Well,
Okay.
But what
only
other
person-
is that?
Here's a compromise, man.
Yeah.
When they will do the audition for Kingpin, it should be an open audition. So whoever, I don't know.
well, I know one guy who can actually play a Kingpin. Maybe like Michael Clark Duncan, very much close. Has anyone seen that one Rock movie where he's killing people, like The Driver? I cannot remember that movie. He was Billy Bob Thornton was in it, and that girl from Dexter, she was in it. Oh god, that movie. I think it was Driver. And
It was The Rock?
Yeah.
You want
And
the
then,
Rock. You want the Rock to put on a fat suit and be Kingpin.
No, it was one of the villains in that Rock movie. Who's a big muscular black guy.
The name of the movie was Faster?
Yes, Faster, which is stupid. And that black guy, I cannot remember his name, but he also was in Gears of War. He was a Coltrane. Oh wait a minute, he was Coltrane. So let me.
The name of the black guy in Faster is. Wait, still looking. Well, there's Mike Epps, but obviously it's not Mike Epps. I have a picture of the guy. I just can't find him in here.
I got the. What's the stupid name? Oh.
Let's see. It's not Jim Gaines. It's not Mauricio Lopez. It's not either one of them, is it?
No. Fuck's sakes already.
Okay, while you guys look that up, I will refer to the Easter eggs of the Sinister Six.
Lester Spite.
Yeah.
That's the guy who played Augustus Cole in Gears of War, if it's the same actor. His name is Lester Spite.
Yes. That was him. Yes, I'm talking about that guy. He could play a part.
Oh, that's why I didn't see him, because I was looking at all the icons. His IMDb picture is in black and white, so he actually you can't tell he's black.
I'm looking at a black and white picture of him right now, and I can tell he's black.
Yes, but not when it's that fucking big, dude.
But yes, he can play.
That's all you see. That's as you're scrolling through. It's like.
Yeah, I still would have been able to see him that he was black.
Anyways, he would have been a good Kingpin if he was given the option. He would be a cool Kingpin.
Okay, but anyway, I pulled up the Easter eggs for that movie, for Sinister Six. Okay, so here's what they were teasing in those images. There's one for Kraven, one for Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Rhino, Vulture, and then people are speculating it's either Black Cat, Chameleon, or Mysterio.
I would say
I'm hoping
Chameleon.
it's Black Cat.
I hope it's Chameleon. I like that guy.
I would be down with the Black Cat. Get some girl power into the Sinister Six.
Yeah, it'd be so cool to get a D-list villain like the Chameleon. He's really cool. He has the cool villain.
And shut up with the sausage fest. Let's have some girlish.
What? Don't you like sausage fest?
By the way,
Andy?
I invited eccentric what's her face. I invited her to the hangout. I was hoping she'd join us, but she didn't.
I know.
Wait.
It's a long story.
A lady?
Yes.
Yes.
A lady.
Yes. But
we need some females around here. By the way,
Yes,
if
we
you
do.
were watching this hangout and you enjoy these hangouts and you wish you were part of them, let us know. If you want to host one of these hangouts, be part of the hangouts, and if we like you, we'll let you host.
We're gonna like you anyways because you're a woman. Sorry.
But yeah, we'd like you to be in United. We'd like you to be able to have at least similar time frames as us. But yeah. Perfect. Do we have anything else? Can we wrap this up an hour and 40 minutes later?
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
I'm excited for the next movie. I'm gonna, it We still had a little issue with it, but there were some issues with it. But I'm still gonna follow the Spider-Man franchise.
I didn't hate it.
That's fun.
I didn't hate it. It was just the people behind it I hate them. But at the end, I didn't hate this movie. It was still, like you guys said, it's enjoyable to watch with friends, not by yourself.
And once again, I mean, I enjoyed this movie enough that I will probably end up watching it again in the theater. I might do it at a matinee. I might wait until the price is dropped on it or something. But I'm most likely going to actually pay to watch it again. That's how much I enjoyed it. So I'm going to give it absolutely a thumbs up, even with all its flaws. On the meter of the spill.com meter, I'm going to have to give it a matinee.
Yeah, it's a matinee. I didn't hate it. It was just not that great, sad to say.
I will give it a weak A.
A weak A? Are you not familiar with spill.com, Andy?
Nope, I am not.
You should be. It's amazing and funny as all hell.
Yeah, but I miss it.
I'm too brown for it, so.
The main host is black.
I'm
kidding. Oh my god.
You're not brown enough of anything.
Right. And Charles, he'll pretty much give it a fuck you. Isn't that right, Charles?
Again, Charles is not actually watching the Hangout, let alone participating.
Exactly. He does this a lot, folks.
Yes, because I zone out. Yeah.
Although Isaiah, who was it who was shaking his phone texting while we were talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 2 weeks ago?
Hey, look. There was nothing else happening on that show as well. We already said our piece, okay?
It was like halfway through the episode. We had not. In any case, closing things out.
Yes, please.
I want to thank everybody for watching. This has been Matt with Geeks Around and the Conclave. Go ahead, Isaiah, pimp out your stuff, because I don't always let you.
Well, okay, folks, check out my show, Isaiah's Zone, where I like things and you don't. Ha!
No, that's the show in which you don't like things that everyone else likes.
Okay, it's my opinions. How about that? My opinions is a dictator.
Okay. So what you're saying is basically the opposite of what you said at first.
Correctamundo.
Okay.
If I like it, I like it. If I hate it, then go fuck yourself.
Okay. And next we have Charles. Go ahead, Charles, pimp something.
Yes. I have my own solo show called Charles 2 Cents, where I give my 2 cents on various topics that I tend to have opinions on. Sometimes it's movies, sometimes it's TV shows, sometimes it's just things that happen in the world.
Yeah, and Charles has a long conversation. He talks forever.
Yes.
And I just got to say, Charles, that the Charles's 2 cents, the episodes of that are so much better than your episodes of Charles Smokes a Dime Bag. The episodes of Charles Smokes a Dime Bag, those were fucking boring, dude.
Well, I'm sorry about that.
No one wants to watch you smoke weed.
He doesn't pass it anyway, so what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
That's exactly the point, because it's all mine, and I torture you guys by forcing you to watch.
Racist.
Like, watch me.
Racist.
And last but not least, go ahead and pimp your stuff, Andy.
Well, I am the host of the Flash Podcast. You can find it on theflashpodcast.com and on Twitter at the Flash Podcast, Facebook, and we're part of the Flash Show on Google+. I also do a S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast, but I'm not going to give out any of the old links because there might be something new happening to the podcast in this upcoming week.
Cool. And make sure to check us out, geeksofaround.com, youtube.com/geeksofaround. Wait, Andy had one more thing.
No, I said subscribe to Geeks Around on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, subscribe, like those buttons down there.
Like there, here, here.
You'll note. Okay, I just want to say, you notice we don't put those annoying fucking squares on our YouTube videos, right? You realize that we don't throw in ads at the beginning. Like, we are not paid for this. We are bringing this entertainment to you for our enjoyment. I mean, for your enjoyment. Okay,
for the people, by the people.
For both. Yeah.
By the people, for the people.
Exactly. So please like and subscribe us at least through that. That way you're gonna get this quality entertainment where we basically spend an hour and a half every night making fun of Charles.
Yeah. For fun.
Yeah, for fun.
You never know, too.
Basically, what these hangouts have become.
Vanilla.
You never know.
All right, everyone have a great week, and peace. Oh, call your mom.
Peace out, bitches.
Bye-bye.